My brother recently asked, why should I buy my knife at bladehq.com instead of Amazon? Today, I have 10 knives that you can't find on Amazon, as well as 10 good reasons to shop at Blade HQ instead. Let's talk knives. The first knife on the table is the new Blade HQ exclusive Boker Alluvial. Now this is part of a line of automatic knives that was built from the ground up as a Blade HQ exclusive. So not only can you not find this on Amazon, but the only place in the world you can find it is bladehq.com. Blade HQ also offers a lot of exclusives of existing models, like this extremely popular Desert Warrior Elementum. This is my personal one. It makes me smile every time I look at it. And you're just not gonna find something like this on Amazon because they're exclusives to Blade HQ. Next up is the Ozer Knives F22. This is a production model. It's a collaboration mostly with a design from Jared Ozer, a custom maker, and the really interesting kickstop flipper mechanism that vanishes as you flip the knife open. Now this comes from a fairly small maker. Jared Ozer isn't a huge business owner, but he makes really nice knives, and he's very discerning as to who he sends them to. And here at Blade HQ, we are honored to get these because we are nerds. We can see the detail, craftsmanship, and intricacies that went into making a knife like this one. And you can only find stuff like that at Blade HQ. Next up, we have a ProTech TR3, and this one stands in for the entirety of the ProTech brand. ProTech is based out of California, and they make some of the finest autos in the biz. They make my personal favorite automatics, and they do them in small batches. So small, in fact, that when they send them to retailers and everybody, there just isn't any left to put them on Amazon. And even if they were, the rules about selling automatics on Amazon are a little bit vague. And because of that, if you want a very high quality automatic, especially like this one from ProTech, you can only get it at a place like Blade HQ. This next one is another one of my personal knives. This is the Flytanium Talisong Z, designed by my friend Eldon Talley, and it is a very nice butterfly knife. And not only can you not find it on Amazon, but you cannot find a lot of high-end butterfly knives on Amazon because they're all very small, limited runs, similar to the ProTech. But if you want to get into butterfly flipping and you want a real competition-grade butterfly knife, you're not gonna find it on Amazon because there just aren't enough made for it. Next knife on the table is the Microtech Ultratech. Now this is the iconic double action OTF. I think it's probably the best selling double action out the front in Hall of History. I don't know the data on that. If you know differently, let me know in the comments. But I do think it is probably the most counterfeited knife of all time. And I think that's because if you bust this out at a family reunion, your cousin's gonna be like, whoa, what's that? That action's so cool. And you say, this is a Microtech Ultratech. Your cousin takes to Amazon, types Microtech Ultratech, and you're going to be flooded with counterfeits. Now those Amazon knives may look like Ultratechs, but they are not Ultratechs. You're probably gonna get painted aluminum instead of anodized. You're not gonna get a premium blade steel. You're not gonna get these iconic grinds like this Hellhound. And that action may be double, but it's gonna sound like a broken trampoline when it runs. The Ultratech, as it is here, is a little bit pricier, but you're getting it in the USA made quality, the great materials, the great build. Everything is so much better in a genuine Microtech, and Amazon just doesn't have the nose to sniff out the counterfeits from the legitimate ones. If you get your Microtechs at Blade HQ, you can be rest assured you are getting a genuine Microtech every single time. Next knife on the table is one of my personal goal knives. I want to get one of these one day. This is the Viper Knives Barris, and I chose this one because I love the design, especially this choil right here that accepts your middle finger instead of your index finger, which pushes the edge a little forward. And that sweeping belly is super skinny, M390 blade with a DLC finish, and this green micarta handle and a nice pocket-friendly Kydex sheath. It's a really great everyday carry fixed blade. It's not too big, it's not too small, it fills out the hand. And if you want to find it on Amazon, when I was doing research for this, I looked at Amazon for this amazing knife. And I type in Viper Barris, and I get stuff from like anime or about the snake. So the Vipera barris is the Latin name for a species of snake. And you'll find stuff about that, but you will not find this awesome knife from a boutique Italian knife maker. And that's something that you can only find at Blade HQ because our buyers are nerds and they are always looking for the most interesting knives to bring to the table. Next up is the Beyond EDC Riverwolf. So this is a very premium, very big, overbuilt folder. But it's designed by John Demko, who, if you've heard of Andrew Demko, that's his brother. In classic Demko fashion, this is a tool that wants to go to work that's built out of the finest stuff. A full milled titanium handle and M390 blade. And this is a fairly off the beaten path knife. It's not from one of the huge brands, it's not from one of the huge makers, but it's from a great brand and a great maker. And Blade HQ does the research to find knives like this. And you can find them at Blade HQ, but you can't find them on Amazon. In addition to finding the smaller makers, Blade HQ also is able to find the new makers. So this is the TJ Schwartz Scalpel. This one's a really fun little guy. Full hand grip with a sheep's foot blade, Magna Cut, USA made with this very nice little leather slip. An in the pocket fixed blade if I ever saw one. The thing about these is these are brand new and from a fairly new on the scene maker. And Blade HQ is able to pick these up because we have a finger on the pulse of the industry. We know who's up and coming and we're able to get their stuff fast. This may find its way to Amazon one day, but it'll be a long ways out. But you can get it right now at bladehq.com. And lastly on the table, we have the Jake Hoback Knives Quaychetti. So if you've seen his Quay back line, it's like a folder that looks a lot like this, but this is just blown up and turned into a machete, which feels kind of swordy to me. One of my favorite features about this is the blade. Often on machetes, you'll find a low carbon steel, but this one has a high-end stainless. This is 154 cm, and that's ready for all of your outdoor tasks, but it'll also resist the corrosion a little bit better, and it's very much a premium steel. And then the thing that I want to talk about that Amazon won't offer you here is, let's talk about this handle. This is a material called SureTouch. It looks a lot like G10, but it is different. And I don't think Amazon is going to be able to tell you what the difference is, but here at Blade HQ, we can tell you. SureTouch is very similar to G10, but these black layers in here are actually layers of rubber. So you don't need such a coarse texture. The rubber grips your hand just enough so that it's not gonna fly out while you're hacking away at some branches. And not only can you not find this Quaychetti on Amazon, but you're not gonna find the knowledge about the materials and design that we offer here at Blade HQ, because as we've said before, we are dyed-in-the-wool knife nerds. We can't help it. We go home and think about knives after work. Knives are who we are. So there's 10 knives that you can find at Blade HQ that you cannot find at Amazon, as well as 10 good reasons why you can't find knives like this at Amazon. I hope this answers your question if you're debating whether or not to buy a knife from Blade HQ or from Amazon. And above all, I invite you to continue buying knives from Blade HQ because you guys are what make the community possible. You are what make all these awesome knives possible. And the world is a better place because these knives are in them. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like. Leave us a comment of what knives aren't available on Amazon that are on Blade HQ. Let the people see what awesome knives there are that aren't available with Prime delivery. And we'll see you guys on the next one.